it's not a plug. And it's really the best thing that happened to gaming on Linux since, I think, TuxKart. Maybe you played that. It's really cool, but it sucks in a few minor ways that are totally annoying. For example, from hardware perspective, there's just a single USB-C port. So what's with that? I mean, a mini display port or a second USB-C, that would be cool. And from hardware perspective, that's really all. And everything else is on the software side. Because here we have this X, Y, B, A sticks, direction pad. We have inputs on the back. But most of the games and the software just can't utilize it. We have this Aperture Desktop, which is a demo that Valve developed. And it really shines with all the buttons. But any other game, like for example your typical hack and slash or TuxKart or Heroes 3, they aren't really suited for that. So if we have any game developers, or if you guys know any game developers, just tell them to test on Deck, because it's a really cool device, but just use it. I know it's like 0.5% of the gaming market, but just try. It's totally worth it. But now it could be better. Now it kind of sucks. So, I forgot. I would like to dedicate this lightning talk to Microsoft, because if they didn't, if they haven't scared Valve shitless with their Windows Store, we wouldn't get this. We wouldn't get Proton. We wouldn't get VSDK. So thanks, Microsoft. You made gaming on Linux better.
So who's next?
If anyone would like to test this, I have Goat Simulator.
Thank you. The next one, intro to connection or connexion. Just a second, I have to set up the timer.
Okay. No worries, be happy. Będę oszukiwał, już zacznę. I będę miał 6. I'll just start. I'll have 10 minutes.
There are rules. In the meantime, is there anyone who doesn't know where the party is? Right, everyone knows. Okay, can we start? All right, let's go.
Okay, hi again. Today I'm gonna speak in English. Does anyone know Connection? Okay, nice. So I'm just gonna do a little intro into it. So basically it's a wrapper around Flask Tornado Gevent. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's basically a wrapper. I use it in my company Xfang in a project that I'm working on. So basically it allows to use an open API to describe your endpoints, your specification, as detailed as you want, as I mentioned in the third dot, and then implement your logic. What's the advantage of it? That you have your open API, and you just have you can use it, and that's basically it. So yeah, it reduces misinterpretation about what an API is going to look like. And it's good for small projects, and I heard that it's good for bigger ones because a friend of mine works in a bigger company, in a bigger project that uses Connection. So basically, I'm just gonna show you how it looks in PyCharm. So yeah, everybody I think knows Flask, so yeah, sure. I forgot to do that. Is it okay? Bigger? Perfect? Okay. There's nothing to show, so yeah. Everybody knows how to create a basic Flask app. So yeah, you do a create app function, you import connection, Flask app, name, specification. You show where to search for the YAML files. And yeah, that's basically it. You can do some more options that's mentioned in the documentation. And you just run the server. So yeah, you just do Flask run 8080. Where's my... Okay. And here you have your Swagger, or yeah, OpenAPI, old Swagger. You can see the schemas, expected values. You can try to test it out. You can change it. It does basic validation, so I'll show you a little glimpse of it. I've executed an endpoint, and it says that loss isn't one of the music IT politics category. So yeah, this is mentioned in my paths. This is the basic, like the index file, I'll call it the index file. Here we describe the paths. I separate it into smaller ones. So yeah, the file is neat, let's say. And I have schemas, so I don't have to repeat my models, let's say. So I have a post YAML that requires title, content, category. It has an outer, which can be nullable. Yeah, everybody I think knows OpenAPI specs. If not, you can just Google it out. And it has an enum, so that's why it returned an error when we used the loss on category. And yeah, basically that's it. What it has underneath is our schemas that we can just check it out, see if everything is okay, if it helps different, let's say, integrations or people who want to integrate with us to just check out our documentation and integrate it and use it. Yeah, basically, that's all. I have this small project on GitHub. Oh, wait, if anybody, oh my God, not this. How do you close it? I don't know, refresh. Yeah, and that's basically it. Thank you.
All right, now IPython, and the next one is iTruck VR. Who's giving that talk? Okay, if you can go there. Thank you. Ready?
Almost. No. Hello, Miro. It's there as well. Hi. Okay, I'm ready. So, hi everybody. My name is Lumir, and today I would like to show you an interesting project I'm working on, and it's related to Walrus operator. If you use Walrus operator, raise your hand, please. Nobody. Yeah. When it was introduced in the Python 3.8 in 2019, I was like, yay, this is gonna be awesome. And why? Because my notebooks or IPython sessions are usually full of these. Like, okay, I have some computation, whatever, loading data, scraping website, whatever, and then I would like to show the result. I would like to see what's actually in the variable, right? So every other cell in my notebooks looks like this, that the variable is at the very end, so I can see the result. And it was like, yay, Walrus operator will solve this, so I can make a one-liner out of this. Well, no. In the PEP, they decide that this is gonna raise a syntax error, and for kinda valid reason. You can use the Walrus operator in if statements, while loops, and maybe some other places, or in the complex expressions and stuff like that, but not directly at the top of the level of the Python module. And the reason is actually valid, because Zen of Python says that there should be one and preferably only one obvious way to do it. And because I teach PyLadies for 6 years now, I can imagine that it might be kind of hard to explain to beginners that, hey, we have the equal assignment, and we have the assignment expression, the Walrus operator. And yeah, you can imagine that to beginner, understand the difference might be a little bit hard. But still, the use case in the notebook or IPython session might be valid, I would say. So I've created a project which is called IPython Walrus, or shortcut IPyWalrus, which you can install from pip. As Miro said, please don't use sudo pip. Use it into virtual environment or into user location. And then you can load that extension into IPython or notebook, as you can see, and then it will magically work. It's very naive. It basically adjusts the tokens. It tries to compile the code, and if it fails, it actually adds the parentheses behind the curtain. So it's really, really naive. But if you try it and you find a use case when it don't work, please open an issue. You can find it on GitHub, and you can find me somewhere around the internet and on the social event as well. So thank you. And because I have still plenty of time, I would like to use that time. I'm sorry, Philip. No, actually, sorry, but not sorry. Because I would like to use the time to thank all the organizers for that conference. Please give them a warm applause. That's kind of big applause for the IPyWalrus. Thank you.
You still have 1 minute and 30 seconds. I'm joking.
Yeah, but we are looking for the social event, so.
Next, please. And after that, there will be documentation as code. Alrighty, thank you.
So how do I connect you? Do I need like a adapter? Yeah. I've got only USB-C, so
You have on USB-C.
give me a
Jest tutaj.
There is a connector.
I've got this. Pin prepared. There we go. To niepotrzebnie kombinujemy. Fine, I've got nuts. Right. Co można iść tutaj? Okej, dobra. To na ekranie.
Słucham?
Okej.
Tu jest mikrofon,
spoko.
tu jest obraz.
Cześć. Dzięki wielkie. No właśnie jest problem, bo nie widzę ekranu. Tak. Chwila. Pieprzone macOS. Mogę to jakoś przez... O, there we go. Freaking Max. Right, so, there we go. Play and we can finally begin. So, hi. Yep. Sorry about that. So, hi everyone, I'm Zdzisław, and I work as a backend developer a Python backend developer by day, and I'm a huge VR enthusiast after the hours. So, something got borked. Wait, is it working? Yeah, it's working, it's working. It's fine. So, what can we... It's fine. Yeah. So, it's not working? It's fine, it's fine. It's like it should be. Don't worry. Everything's according to plan. It is. Trust me. So, over the years, we've seen like a huge improvement in the technology for VR, like the headsets, what was it called? The gloves, no, not the gloves, the gloves, the full body tracking solutions, like mouth tracking solutions, etc. But there's been one thing missing from it all. And my friend, my colleague, once said to me that eyes are the windows to one's soul. And guess what it's missing? Eye tracking. We have no eye tracking. And how can it be? So me and a couple of other people decided to work on iTrack. It's a DIY eye tracking solution written in Python, which makes use of, hold on, there we go, which makes use of an ESP32 with a camera module, which is placed inside a headset, a PC with iTrack VR running in the background, and something that can listen to an OSC stream. It's, yeah. So how's the flow? Firstly, we've got the eye tracking thingy inside the headset. It's got like a camera placed near the lenses so that you can see your eyes and, transmit the data, which we stream over HTTP using MJPEG streams. It's fine, it's a bit technical. Then, that data is being passed through the iTrack app, where we do some magic with OpenCV, some hash coding, some maybe blob tracking, some mobile net models trained to detect how the eye is opened, how much openness there is. So we can just, track your eyelids, track if you're blinking, and etc. And we get that data, we push it out to an OSC stream client, which then gets interpreted in a game. So if a game has like an OSC client, like VRChat or Neos VR or anything else that you can write a mod or a plugin into, we can use it to add eye tracking to your avatar so that your avatar can look where you're exactly looking. So it looks like this. It's a bit scuffed. There's some diodes. There's a camera down in the corner. I'm sorry. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the hardware side of things. And for the software, where the magic happens, we've got a demo. I am very sorry if there's an audio because there's a bit of hard sell in the background. So if there's audio, you've been warned. So what's happening here? Like you can see in the bottom right corner, there's a white background with a black dot. That dot represents where the eye is actually placed, or rather looking. Then next to it, on top of that box, I'm sorry, it's stress, is like a preview of what the camera is seeing. There's the eye, there's the gaze estimation thingy drawn on top of it. And on the next to it is like the thresholded blob for debugging and just because it looks cool. And, well, that's how it looks in the game. It can track. Thankfully, there's no hard side, so yeah, we're saved. Right, so if you guys want more info, right, so if you guys want, I have some time left, so if you guys want more info, there's a QR code to our GitHub repository where we have the iTrack app open source. It's open source. There you can find some hardware information like the firmware, the software, and how to use it, and link to our Discord. So thank you.
I'm starting to think that 5 minutes is too much, maybe. And next up will be asynchroniczny Nioza. Mikrofon przestaje działać. Gdzie jest osoba? A, tak, ale jesteś już na miejscu, dobrze?
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, great. First of all, sorry, I don't really have any presentation with nice emojis or anything like that, because it's something I figure I could present on the spot, and I hope it will be useful for some of you. So, I have two questions. Does anybody of you know Pandoc tool? Okay, nice. Okay, great. And what about MARP? Markdown Presentation Extension Ecosystem. Okay, so I will talk about I will start with the first one. Pandoc is a Haskell library and a CLL tool that you can use to convert one markup language to another. So, for example, in my job, we started to use that extensively because I work for the medical company, and our biggest pain in the ass is audits, government, and so on. With each release, they come and they want all documentation, they want it printed, so we are talking about Word documents. And for example, let's say you run, I don't know, 2,000 or I don't know, maybe more tests in some environments with each builds and so on, and you want that results in some nice place where you can always print that out. So it's really nice, and you could, for example, don't really have to use Word documents because you could store that as Markdown and then convert in every time you want that out as something useful for the auditors, for example. So it's really nice. It works definitely better than Word documents because it supports Git and so on. And another one is MARP. And it's a really nice tool. It's also CLI, and it has support for VS Code. You can check that out. And basically it's Markdown, but with some little more extensions in there. And you can use that to generate PowerPoint presentations in either PDF format or PowerPoint. And sometimes on some tech talks, I use that directly even from VS Code to present something to people. Unfortunately, it has less nice things like PowerPoint, but if you only want some bare presentation without any, I don't know, some fancy settings, some animations and so on, it's a really nice thing because it supports Git like any Markdown and so on, so you could even control that version with other people if you work on something like that. And that's basically all. Thanks.
USB-C to jest to, co... To ja chętnie pożyczę te 1,5 minuty, które tam komuś zostało. Nie ma takich. Dobra. Staram się... Gdzie tutaj ja jestem? Tu jest. Momencik, bo jeszcze nie wiem, gdzie jest mój kursor. Masakra. Linuxie wróci. Czekaj, jeszcze tylko. Dobra. Cześć. Więc wy tylko się spotykacie, kiedy wy pracujecie. Jeżeli to słyszycie, to znaczy się, że macie objawy spotkaniozy, choroby, która trapi naszą cywilizację. Spotykamy się na spotkaniach, żeby umówić następne spotkania. Potem podsumowujemy spotkania i ustalamy kolejne. Będzie o ogniu greckim, Biblii i provisioningu baz danych. Więc Iliada, Odyseja, Biblia i dokumentacja provisioningu baz danych. Co je łączy? Powstały głównie w tradycji ustnej. Następnie zostały spisane, ale niektóre nie. I teraz został mi powierzony system zarządzania bazami danych. Na saporcie padło pytanie o provisioning, ponieważ byłem nowy. Zacząłem szukać dokumentacji, nie ma. Zacząłem szukać ludzi, którzy to wiedzą, nie było ich łatwo znaleźć. I to jest trochę jak źródło kół, czyli hipotetyczny dokument wczesnochrześcijański, którego okruchy znajdujemy w różnych Ewangeliach, ale wiemy o nich tylko z badań historyków, bo samego tekstu po prostu nie ma. Wiedza na temat provisioningu jest też szczątkowa, rozproszona w okruchach po naszych systemach i tylko kilka osób ma pełną wiedzę na ten temat. I to mi trochę przypomina ogień grecki, Wunderwaffe późnego antyku, którego nie można było spisać ze względu na tajemnicę wojskową i w efekcie wiedza zanikła. Czyli to jest tak, jakby ostatnia osoba znająca recepturę wpadła pod autobus i to mi przypomina pojęcie bus factor. Miara, która mówi, ile osób musi wpaść pod autobus, żeby projekt upadł. I teraz pytanie, ile wynosi bus factor w waszym projekcie? Czy znacie tego kolesia? Oprócz tego, że prawdopodobnie nie istniał, jest autorem Iliady i Odysei i on te tomiszcza spisał w głowie i w tamtych czasach tak się po prostu pamiętało dzieła. Było to trochę nieefektywne, a przecież 6000 lat temu Sumerowie wynaleźli pismo, 600 lat temu Gutenberg wynalazł druk. Pisanie i czytanie trafiły pod strzechy razem z innym high-techem i nastąpiła eksplozja nauki i innowacji i wszystko po to, żeby historia zatoczyła koło, ludzie znowu zaczęli do siebie gadać zamiast pisać i wiedza na temat kluczowych systemów znowu zaczęła być trzymana w pamięci jego twórców, zaś dokumentację zaczęliśmy oglądać jako filmiki. I cały ten postęp, wszystko po to, żeby zrujnować moją głęboką pracę, bo jeżeli widzę coś takiego, to skóra mi cierpnie i wiem, że będzie bez kontekstu, sam będę musiał się domyślać, o co w ogóle chodzi. A gdyby zadać to pytanie pisemnie, porządnie sformułować temat, dać linki, trochę kodu, to w efekcie zajdzie efekt rubber duck debuggingu i pytającemu odpowiedź sama przyjdzie i może się obejdzie bez mojej interwencji. Technologia powoduje, że jest bardzo łatwo wrzucić spotkanie i w efekcie wywłaszczyć na przykład 10 specjalistów po to, żeby się okazało, że nie mają nic do powiedzenia, bo nie ma agendy. Dzień, który pozornie wydaje się być wolny, ma tylko kilka małych spotkań, tak naprawdę jest zawalony slotami na zmianę kontekstu. W efekcie nic nie zostaje. I wszystko przez ten Agile. Ale czy na pewno? W Agile Manifesto nie ma o tym, że trzeba się zwinnie spotykać. Jest o tym, że cenimy ludzi, interakcje od procesów i narzędzi, ale nie jest napisane, że to musi być słowno-muzycznie. Znowu w Scrumie jest trochę inaczej. Jest mowa o ceremoniach. Swoją drogą bardzo trafne określenie. A wszyscy jesteśmy inni. Jedni chętniej czytają i piszą, inni chętniej słuchają i mówią. Przez lata dominował typ, który bardziej wolał pisać na IRC-u i mówił, że nie po to został programistą, żeby rozmawiać z ludźmi. Dzisiaj IT jest bardziej otwarty na wysokie kompetencje społeczne i to jest świetne, ale jesteśmy wszyscy inni. Są introwertycy i ekstrawertycy. Są wzrokowcy i są słuchowcy. Przez analogię, gdyby wprowadzić spotkania na bieżni, na ściance, na rowerach, to by dyskryminowało ludzi o dysfunkcjach ruchowych. Częste i intensywne interakcje społeczne dyskryminują ludzi, którym łatwiej jest się skupić na słowie pisanym, a emocje związane ze spotkaniami są tylko szumem informacyjnym. Jakby nas wszystkich umieścić na takim wykresie, to widzimy przesunięcie środka ciężkości stąd, tutaj. W efekcie ludzie z tej części spektrum osobowości często są postrzegane jako nietowarzyskie i mają ogólnie gorzej. Co robić, jak żyć? Więcej do siebie pisać.
Hello, hello. Hello. Looks like we have another keynote speaker for next year. That's great. Who's going to talk about PyBrook?
Me, but not now.
Okay. And then the final will be about PEP 545. Okay, here. Great.
Ach, ten Linux,
No.
którego też używam.
Nie ma pi... A! Przecież... O, już Linuxa obrażali.
Kabel podłączony do rzutnika działa lepiej.
Zdecydowanie tak. Spoko. Workspace. Tak. Już.
I will be speaking in Polish because it's about Polish event. Więc za 2 tygodnie w Dąbrowie Górniczej będzie bezpłatne wydarzenie, konferencja Jesień Linuxowa, organizowana przez Polską Grupę Użytkowników Linuxa. Impreza jest totalnie bezpłatna, ale trzeba się zarejestrować. To jest jedyne wymaganie. I co na takiej imprezie może ciekawego być? Agenda może być, tak? O, czyżby tu left klik nie działał? Wi-Fi nie działa, dobra. Co tam będzie w agendzie? Albo pomóż, bo mam jeszcze czas, nie?
And now look. Yeah.
Działa, dobra. Co tam będzie w agendzie? No, bardzo różne rzeczy, takie część DevOpsowych, trochę rzeczy związanych z security. Także bardzo zachęcam do zainteresowania się imprezą. Czy będzie streaming? Chyba nie, ale może, zobaczymy. Także dużo ciekawych rzeczy. Będą też rzeczy dla totalnie początkujących, czyli będą podstawy Kubernetesa, nawet będą podstawy samego Linuxa, tak? Czyli będzie można sobie poćwiczyć terminal i ogarnianie Linuxa. Co jeszcze będzie? Bardzo ciekawi prelegenci, między innymi będzie Tomasz Barbaszewski, to jest człowiek, który jako pierwszy wdrażał terminale, chyba 20 000 terminali Linuxowych w Ministerstwie Finansów dawno temu, chyba jeszcze w latach późnych 90. albo 2000. Także człowiek legenda. O, tu nawet jest o prowadzący, tak? Na emeryturze, ale od 85 roku zajmuje się Unixem. Tak, 40 000 nawet, w 98-2005. No i jeszcze będą inni prelegenci, ciekawe rzeczy, także zapraszam za darmo, wystarczy tutaj wejść w zapisy, kliknąć, pach i jest Evenea, gdzie można się zapisać i wziąć udział w konferencji. Także zapraszam w imieniu Polskiej Grupy Użytkowników Linuxa. Tyle. To teraz łatwiej, bo Michał, twój komp jest podłączony. To.
Miejmy nadzieję. It's like this is where it started, and this is what happened like with YouTube's recommendation system. So yeah, I guess it was just playing in the background. Is it? Yeah, the speed. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we can start. So I'm going to talk about a small Python framework I developed as my bachelor thesis under supervision of Mateusz Modrzejewski, who is present here today also. So it's called PyBrook, and let's say you have a lot of devices which send the state, for example, buses in Warsaw, in my city, and we can define that, yeah, like we say we connect to Redis at localhost, we create our app, we create our input model specification. We say that our ID field for, just to distinguish devices from each other, is vehicle number. We define, like with type hints, just like a data class, it's in report. And then we define our out report, which is, yeah, like it also contains fields from this input report. And yeah, like we have all this latitude, longitude, line, time, like these are buses. So yeah, like they have some line and brigades. And we start our background worker. Yeah, this is the front end, which is also like loading the model and whatever. And now I use Locust for load testing. It like spawns like 800 buses at once, which is like pretty common for also to have like this amount of buses. I say that yes, I have my latitude field here in the output report, like one of them, because there can be many. I have the time field, which is, yeah, location report time, very simple, just like 37 lines of code, and hey, yeah, over WebSockets, we have like live location. We can see the data like in real time, so yeah, like it works, but it's like, for now, it's very simple, so let's move to the second video, like it's all hot reloading, including front end. So yeah, so now let's calculate something. So I add an artificial field, which is called direction. So let's like know where these buses are heading. So yeah, I say it's also like based on type, hence there is some validation using Pydantic, and web app is like generated using Fast API underneath, but you can plug in any other framework. There is like a design pattern which allows you to do so. And yeah, I declare that I want a latitude history of some object, and the length of history will be 1, so I just get previous location. And I also declare that I want the present latitude and longitude. So yeah, it's fairly simple. And yeah, like I will do some maths to like process this vector just to get degrees so I can show where these buses are headed. And this is nice that all the workers can be like split. Like the only thing that you have to scale like manually is Redis. Like all the other stuff is independent, so you can run them on different machines, for example, closer to some data center. It's also supporting async IO, so you can, for example, wait for some input-output operations. Like, for example, you have a big database, and it takes 10 seconds to load some data, but you want to get like location faster and then reports for this data. So here I added direction report. And yeah, like it's here, I can get direction, and I also can map it to front end, adding metadata for direction field. And yeah, like we know where these buses are going now. It's also in real time. The performance right now, like I can handle all buses in Warsaw, which is a city of 2 million, like in pretty much real time. And it's like, yeah, like if every bus sent an event every 1 second, I could process this in real time. So yeah, and it also supports like recursive dependencies. For example, I have an artificial field which depends on the previous calculations. So I can add one, and this will also work. Unfortunately, it's not yet open source. I am working on improving the performance because it's some cases I could use Rust instead of Python without losing the ease of development of just user applications. So yeah, like with Rust, I could possibly, like with my first checks, it would be possible to like process like 40,000 requests per second on my consumer desktop computer at my home. If I ported it to Rust, right now it's about 4,000 reports per second. So it's not very good right now, in my opinion. But it's very likely that it's going to get better in the future if I find time to develop it a little more and maybe release it on GitHub when I am happy with the results. So yeah, and here it's just I have to add some present field to to make it like work for the recursive field, because like something has to trigger the event, right? And this can be like a previous repo. So now, yeah, I have a counter, it works, there is no race conditions, and that's it basically. Thank you very much.
So this is going to be our last lightning talk, and there will be an announcement later.
Do we have non-Polish speakers here? Okay, thank you. Cool. Yes, so then I'll use English. No, please stay. Thank you. So I don't have slides, but I will use my browser. Oh, thank you. So, did you know that if you replace the main path of docspython.org with your language shortcut, there is a chance that the Python docs will show up in your language. Yeah, we can do that for a couple of other languages too. Yeah, Ukrainian, French, Spanish, and many more, Japanese. It's possible thanks to PEP, Python Enhancement Proposal 545, which is a document which sets a framework for different language translations. Yeah, it unifies the places and discoverability for the translations and how we build them. Yeah, and you may ask, why would I care to contribute to this project? So the answer is that Polish or non-English kids don't have the Python docs in their own language. So these projects translating documentation levels the playing field for children or high school students in Poland, in Ukraine, or Spain, or anywhere. That they also can have the official documentation translated into their language. And here we have the comment of Łukasz Langa saying what I said briefly. Yeah, Łukasz Langa is a CPython core developer and supports the project, as you can see. If you if you want to check your strength in translating one sentence of documentation into your language, I invite you to a workshop at 10:45 tomorrow, when we will try to see the translations. And get to know some tooling around it. Also, if you would want to contribute to the documentation, you can find the translating section of Python Developers Guide. You can look for your language here, and you have links to the places where you can start. If you don't see your language in this table, in next section, you will have the guide how to start a new language, language project for the documentation. Thank you. That's all.
Okay. Do I do this? Okay, just a quick announcement. There were some jokes about the CheckPython on the quiz, or CheckPyCon. It wasn't a joke.
I have an important announcement. You might know that we recently gained some territory in Czech Republic. So the next place for Czech Python will be Králové. The date is not known yet, but I guess a lot of people from northern Poland will be happy that they have it nearby. Thank you. That's it.